Hello, this is Camilla. A big warm welcome and a very big thank you to everybody who will be helping us with translations in the future. This video will only cover subtitle edit settings. The reason for that, even though I did cover it in the installation video earlier, is because not everybody needs to watch the installation video. So here we go. Let's go to the options menu. Please bear in mind I do have the latest version at this point in time, which is version 3.3.14. If you don't have the latest version, then your settings menu will not look the same as mine. Not exactly anyhow. Now, I will speak through these because not everybody's internet connection is fast and therefore it will compromise the clarity of the video. So here we go. The default frame rate is 25. Default file encoding is, if you are translating into Swedish, for example, your encoding should be set to 1252 Western European. Please check with your country office to see what encoding you will need for the language that you are translating into. That's very important. If you have the incorrect encoding, even though the text you are typing will look good to you on the screen, it won't look good once it's handed to the country office, who converts your file using another program. And what will happen is some of those letters will change into really strange looking characters. So please check that, it's very important. Now the single line maximum length should be 35, maximum characters is 13, minimum duration in milliseconds is 2000, the maximum duration in milliseconds is 6999, the minimum gap between subtitles in milliseconds is set to 80. This particular menu will not be found in your settings if you don't have the latest version. However, it is made available under another menu, which I will show you after this. Unbreak subtitle shorter than 34. Subtitle font is Tahoma. Subtitle font size is set to 10. Please do not change the size here. If you want to work with text that is actually larger for you to read or smaller, I will show you where you can change that. This size is the size that the reader will read when reading your subtitles when they're watching the film. Okay, these first four boxes in the right hand column should all be ticked, and then when we jump back down to allow edit of original subtitle, that should be ticked, as well as prompt for delete lines is ticked as well. And let's see, time code mode should be set to hours, minutes, seconds and milliseconds, and if it isn't, you just press the little arrow and select the correct one. And double clicking line in main window list view will, it should be set to go to video position and play. If it isn't, just select the correct one from the menu. And auto backup is really important, so please make sure that it is set to every minute, which is the shortest interval that you can pick from the menu. And now we'll go to a tab where it says video player. The video engine should be on VLC media player. You just click the little circle, and these three boxes should all be ticked. And here, the subtitle preview font size, by default it's set to 10, but if you want to have text that is larger or smaller when you are working on your project, then you can just change it here, and that will not affect the size of the text that the reader will be seeing once you are finished. So this is the only part where it's flexible, and these are here by default. And now to keep those settings, please click on OK, And the menu that I mentioned we need to go to if you don't have the latest version of Subtitle Edit, which I can also include. It's a really good idea to have the latest version because there are improvements. However, it's located under the Tools menu, and we go down to Minimum Display Time Between Subtitles. Click on that, and this is where you change it. The minimum milliseconds between lines should be set to 80, and the frame rate info should be at 25. And then we click OK to keep those settings. And one thing you should just be mindful of is if you ever open someone else's file, like an SRT file, for example, if it's a translated file that some other translator has worked on, there's a very big risk. Well, actually, it's not even a risk. If that translator have their settings on another encoding, for example, if they were in Finland, it's probably on UTF-8. And when you open it, even though your settings to begin with were on 1252, you will notice that once you've opened their file, this encoding will actually change all by itself. It reverts back to what that translator was using when they were working on their project. So whenever that happens, just change it back to the correct setting, and not only that, you will need to overwrite that file so that you can save it in the correct encoding. So then you just go to File and Save As, or save if you want to overwrite it. So that's it. I hope this has helped. Take care.